Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. On the 15th of April 2017, to all of you Bible believers and believers in the Easter Bunny, I wish you a happy Easter, and for all the other ones, a pleasant weekend. North Korea and the United States are on the brink of an outright war. A war which the American administration under the clone of Donald Trump, having in mind for a long time, and they believe through this war to getting rid of the leadership of North Korea and establishing in North Korea, just like in South Korea and Japan, another American influence sphere and a state which can be controlled completely by the United States. Naturally, China is very well aware of the threat of having the United States right in front of their borders and are definitely not willing to go for it. They believe that it is the best right now, under a weak American administration which is rather confused and being run by military generals, which are always in favor of war because they have been trained to do nothing else than blow the American money onto the military industrial complex. Russia and China are very well aware that the United States, if they can entangle them into a war in North Korea, will get their final blow. Because it's not North Korea who is fighting the United States alone in the event of a war. It is China, and through China, secretly Russia, who are delivering high-tech, highly sophisticated weapons to North Korea, and will give the United States quite some handful of a fight. At the same time, it's already put in place a plan by China to attack the disputed islands, which are at the moment still under control of Japan. This conflict is lingering for a long time, and China will take the opportunity when the United States Navy is having their hand full and completely deployed in front of North Korea to take over these islands, which will then in turn create a war between China and Japan. The United States has many vital interests in Japan as an ally, and have no other choice in such a situation than deploy more troops and divert their navy away, at least partly away from North Korea, to protect and assist Japan. This will water down dramatically the power of the United States Navy and Army, and will distribute their military personnel all through the region of the Far East. Of course, Russia will not let go of this opportunity unused and will do their very best to foster their power in Syria and the Near and Middle East during the time of America being busy trying to get some foothold in the Far East and trying to fend off China. This is the plan of Russia and China, which are only using North Korea and their aggressions and their nuclear testings to lure in the United States into a conflict. A conflict which cannot be won by that nation, particularly then when many of the NATO states refuse to come to the help of the United States because they are deadly afraid that Europe will be drawn into a nuclear war. This is the situation, my dear friends, which the United States is facing when they kindle a tiny fire up there in North Korea. This fire will spread out very rapidly and will be used from the sides of China and Russia to bring America down on their knees. Well, the bad news is if America is panicking and use here and there a nuclear device, the chance that the American mainland is being bombed by Russia is rather great. And it only takes 2 or 3 nuclear bombs hitting major American cities to, for a time frame of about 5,000 years, throw back the United States in their development. Americans will not be willing to sacrifice New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and maybe Los Angeles just to win a war against Russia. Americans are not willing to sacrifice their lives and have a complete nuclear fallout and destruction of their country just because of some generals which control the clone of Donald Trump. But I fear that situation which rolls out and the war which is in the making will be far greater than the American people anticipate, and it may be too late to stop the war once it is raging and even reaches the United States of America mainland. As I said, lucky are the few of you who are being protected by my tall white alien brotherhood. Lucky are the ones, the few hundred, which are already in the DNA enhancement program after being tested and having a favorable DNA and having the possibility of becoming the new rulers, the new elite after the war is over. Rudolf of Germany.